Hello everyone, how you all doing today? So today I want to talk about a story I read on Facebook about a woman that lived in Germany for years and didn't get anything. His years in Germany was just totally wasted. I don't know if I should put it that way. Couldn't achieve anything tangible with his life. So later he decided to relocate to Ghana. According to the man, he said it was a tough decision for him, and eventually they moved back to Ghana. He's a Ghanaian man. And when they got to Ghana, after a few years, things blossomed. Everything became, good. They were having properties they couldn't get when they were living in Germany. Well, this is not about Germany. This is about anywhere in the world, any part in the world you find yourself. There is something that most people do not understand. Location where you live sometimes do not really matter. What matters most is where God actually wants you to live or to be at a particular time. There are some people living in Nigeria, never traveled abroad, but are doing way, way, way better than those living in abroad. Yes, I can tell you that for free. This is a fact. And there are some people that also moved from Africa to abroad, to Europe, America, name it, any country, but now doing way better than they were while they were living in Nigeria or Africa. That is it. Location do not matter. There are still some people living in Europe today. They compete, they argue in some comment section or in some videos that the country they are living in is better than another country. Just the way I saw a post one time, I saw a lady's video where she was talking about that people are saying that Spain's salary is too small. It's possible the person saying that does not find favor or is not progressing living in that country. Some people will say Germany is better than Italy. And some people will move from Germany to Italy. So the name, the location, trying to prove to people that you have arrived, this is where you now live, doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. You should just live your life the way it will favor you. You got to live once in this life. While living your life to impress people so that they will say, hey, him and his family, they just moved to Canada. They are now living abroad. She's now living in US with her family. Have you asked yourself, how is that person surviving? This message is not to discourage anybody trying to move to abroad, because it favors some, while it does not favor some. What I'm trying to say to you is, you that wants to buy yourself because you want to move to abroad, because your friends, your relatives, they have all moved abroad, think twice. Ask God first, is this what God wants for you? Because I can tell you, there are many people living in Africa today that are doing way, way better than people living in abroad. They do not have any business abroad. Some of them do not even have their national passports, not to talk of traveling, and yet God is blessing them. God even have to tell Abraham, move to a place I will show you, before Abraham moved. If Abraham in the Bible, the one you know, that they taught you in Sunday school, If God did not order Abraham to move, and he moved by himself, only who knows what would have become of him today? Yes, before you make any important step in life, any decision that will have a great impact in your life, positively or negatively, you have to think about it thoroughly. You have to pray about it thoroughly. Some people, by all means, they want to japa to any country at all. You can go to that country and you will not even progress. You should also pray that God should move you to a country where you will progress, where you will succeed. Because you might just be living in that abroad, gallivanting around the cities, moving from one city to another, or moving from one European country to another. At the end of the day, for years and years, you have nothing to show for it. Is it not better you remain in your country and you progress? It's your life. Nobody will live your life for you. It's your life. It's your decision. If you make a decision today that will make you to go and be living like a church rat in another man's land, instead of you to be living as king in your own country, Alora, it's your choice. You got to suffer it alone. Nobody will come and share from your suffering. It's your suffering, it's your failure. And again, a reminder that this is not to discourage people that want to move abroad. This is just to tell you to be wise, that sometimes it's greener from the other side, though. Where you are seeing it, you might think that place is better than where you are. Until you get there. When you now get there, you find that there are also dry grass, dry leaves there. There are also dead plants there. Think carefully. Think and think carefully. Imagine somebody living in abroad for years, have nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for it until he moved back to his country, Africa. The same Africa where many people say, hey, Africa. I know Africa has its own. Africa own day body. But at the end of the day, this man moved to Africa with his family, and he found favor there. God blessed him there. Do you understand? So that is it. That is just it. People in comment section, they will be arguing. Africans living abroad. Sometimes when you see them argue, you ask yourself, you are arguing that this country is better than that country. Your country, uncle. How about your country? Some will want to even fight that because somebody said the country he or she is living in is not good, that the country the other person is your favorite country. At the end of the day, there are still some people that no matter where they go, if they don't change some mentality, if they don't change some things they do, even though you carry goods to abroad, it will still be, to still eat grass. So that is it. For example, you live in a particular country. There are some countries where they receive their minimum wages is okay, is high. But have you asked them how much is their house rent? Yes. In some cases, their house rent will be very high. Groceries, in fact, that one, their bills, there will even be some bills they pay that you don't pay in your own country. You don't know whether it exists. And this is how these bills will become big, like high amount of money for you to pay. And you now realize that this person that has received a huge amount of money, at the end of the month, the person have no savings. The person is unable to save anything. Is unable to do anything for himself after many years of working, living from hand to mouth every time. And there, you will still see somebody living in that same country or another country, receiving a lesser amount of money, but because that person is able to manage his resources. At the end of the month, he's able to have a savings, able to do something for himself. Some people will want to go and rent an apartment that is like more than half of their income. Whereas you can get an apartment somewhere else that is cheaper, even though these days it's very difficult to get an apartment in Europe. It's very difficult to get an apartment to rent in Europe. Like, some agents will even tell you to your face that they don't rent their apartment to black. As a black person, sometimes you go to an agent's office to look for an apartment to rent. They just tell you, before you even enter self, they'll be telling you, there is no apartment to rent, there is no apartment for rent. Do you understand? It's only when some people want to even buy a house now that, okay, they will give them a Disney year. But if not, nothing for you to rent. So you see, before you now spend all these things, you that receive small money, at the end of the month, you are able to save something. But there is somebody somewhere receiving high amounts of income. At the end of the day, the person is unable to save anything or do something tangible for himself. Before you know it, 5 years have passed, 20 years have passed. When the person returned to Africa, look like So that is it. And again, some people have the habit of buying things they don't need. Because something is on sales does not mean you should buy it. Because you can afford it does not also mean you should buy it. Yes, some people like to put their hands where their leg can't reach, or how do they say it? I don't know. Very, very expensive things or things they don't need. You buy things every time. You see these delivery people ringing your bell every minute, every second, every day. At the end of the day, you don't even need these things. Who are you trying to impress? Who you want to show that you have arrived? At the end of the day, your account is dry, like a dry season, like Harmattan season. It doesn't make sense. Your personality, your location, everything you do, ask God first. Allow God to direct your steps. Allow God to take charge. If not, you can go to a country where they block money. I know there is none, but in your imagination, you go to a country where they block money, where people do not work before they eat or before they get money. If you don't change certain mentalities, certain behavior, bad behavior, and it's certain things you do that are really bad, go to that country at the end of the day to still be the same. The same. People will enter country same day, same year. In 5 years, some will be doing way better than some. It's possible. That person is just in the wrong country. So, location, name does not really matter. Do what works for you. As far as it's working for you, it's not affecting anybody. Nobody's life is threatened. Do what works for you. That is all I have to say.